Hello, pranksters, and good morning to you. It's Christian the Haver Cardman here, coming back at you with another Market Watch. A more early morning one because you guys voted on Twitter that I need to start streaming again every week, and you've decided that day is going to be Monday afternoon/evenings. So to make things easier on myself, I'm doing this Market Watch in the morning so that I can live stream right when I get home tonight, to be able to get it done, hopefully before my fiance comes home, so we can have the rest of the evening to hang out and whatnot. If it overlaps, it's fine, but I just figured I'd get this out of the way now and to give you guys some awesome Market Watch news before we go ahead and get into that live stream tonight. My original plan was kind of to try to do the Market Watch and have it upload after the live stream, but then I'm like, well, then there's going to be like a couple hours gap between when I do the Market Watch and when it gets released, and that could cause some changes in information in there in that time. Like, the market's crazy. It's so volatile. Anything could change at any minute. If you miss that upload by even just a couple hours, everything could be totally different than what it was in the video. So I'm trying to keep this as accurate as possible, and I figured I'd get this to you guys before I go to work today. So anyways, without any more of that, before we get into this video, guys, don't forget to check out everything down in the description. All of my links are down there to all my social media. And if you guys ever want to get in on some of the news for this channel or any of the polls that I might have up in the future, please go follow me on Twitter so you guys can keep up to date on everything there. And if you guys like the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below, as well as slapping that bell notification so you guys can get my latest uploads. I'm now going to be uploading twice every week, so there's something definitely for you guys to look forward to. And also, before we get into this video, there is also a TCG player link down there as well. If you guys want to go shop my store, if you're looking for any specific singles, you can go check it out, see if I have what you like. And if I don't, then that's cool. I'm also working on getting a TCG player affiliate link, so you'll be able to use that down there as well once I get that, to help support the channel if you guys want to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's Market Watch. Alright, so starting off with things here, I just want to take a look at the King's Court pre-sales. Since we got the full spoiler release of King's Court, people have just been going crazy for this set. We don't have any confirmation on any of the rarities for this set yet, so people are just totally guessing and speculating right now. And as you can see, there's very few actual listings for pre-sales on this market, which I think is just absolutely insane and hilarious all at the same time. Like, if we're even looking up here, you're even seeing Lightning Storm selling at $60. Well, it's listed at $60, the market price of $48, which means these have been selling. These pre-sales have actually been moving. Same thing with number F0, Utopic Draco Future. People are expecting, obviously, probably both of these to be secret rares, or at least very short printed ultra rares. So I'm not 100% sure here, but yeah, look, you even got Yeti Gaming coming in with 19 copies on pre-sale. We can hope that they'll deliver on that. That would be very interesting. Honestly, I understand this, given this is the first reprint of Lightning Storm that we've had since Ignition Assault. This is the first reprint, and I can understand how people are expecting this to be pricey, but I don't know if I could justify spending this yet, because even if it is just an ultra rare, you're paying $60 for a downgrade, when the OG version, let me actually look here, just because now I'm curious. Yeah, last I saw it was going down to 80. Oh, it's down to 65 on the original secret rare. So, for just an extra $5, why wouldn't you just go for the original secret rare? Let me see if that's actually first ed, though. Like I said, there is only a first ed run of this. I'm dumb. But yeah, I mean, well, sure, okay, like $70. So you're paying an extra $10, but for the original first ed copy. And we've seen these go up in the past, like when cards have had reprints, we've seen their original first edition printing go back up in price after the first reprint. So, if you really want Lightning Storms, I still have to recommend just going and buying the original Ignition Assault near mint first eds for the extra $10. Because, I mean, if for whatever reason King's Court ends up being an ultra rare, you're paying just a little bit less than the same amount of money for an ultra rare as you would be a secret rare. I can't justify it at this point. Utopic Draco Future, though, I kind of understand, because this is the first time he's being ported into the TCG, and a lot of people are super excited for him, especially with the Trident hit that we just got. This will now allow people to play Tri-Brigade, or Zodiac Tri-Brigade a lot easier, being able to just go into this guy for some free disruption instead of using the Trident. So it makes sense, but at the same time, it's just ridiculous. You're even seeing the Wicked Avatar down here selling for $30. That's kind of an interesting one to me. I never picked the Wicked Avatar as being potential money, to be honest, especially when we don't know what rarity it is. Like, for all people know, this could be coming in as a super rare, but I'm guessing they're probably expecting a secret, given that the previous two, we have an ultra rare Shonen promo, as well as a super rare from the collector's sense, which is odd. The ultra rare Shonen Jump promo is actually cheaper. Well, okay, not in market price anyways, but currently the lowest listing, and there's more listings of the ultra rare, so surprise penny stonk, I guess. Let me look here. Just to double check and verify, because it looks like a lot of these are heavily played or damaged. Let's put that near and lightly played on. Okay, never mind. So you're about $7, $8 to $9 for near mints. Okay, I guess that's fair. Very deceiving. Thank you, TCG player. That was very, very interesting to go through that. All right, now let's go ahead and get back to where we were then. So, yeah, King's Court pre-sales are looking interesting, especially with nothing confirmed. People are really just 100% out here speculating. Arcana Knight Joker, not surprising there on $30, I suppose. Oh, where's the one I want to look at? Okay, so there's Arcana Knight and Arcana Extra. I can't remember which is which. Oh, which one's the main deck one? Actually, let me look that up here separately. Okay. Oh, it should be Joker's Knight, right? I'm surprised I'm not seeing him on the front page here when I got high to low on. That is very interesting. Unless I just missed him, I suppose. Oh, that's just Utopic Future. Okay. Very interesting, but definitely a lot of definitely a lot of different number support in here. A lot of utopic stuff. I don't know. I think King's Court's going to be pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to overhype this set too much, but it looks decent. It looks interesting. I'm excited to see what happens. Ooh, we're getting another Scrap Twin Dragon. That's actually kind of nice. I honestly didn't pay attention to the full list after it got revealed, so that's really all I wanted to go over with that here. I don't know why that's open. Alright, next up here, something else I want to talk about was the Wave of Light structure deck. I've noticed this one actually slowly getting bought out and a little less slow now. It's starting to speed up a little bit. With Drytrons coming around, people are wanting that Ava and they're wanting the Herald of Orange Light. You're starting to see that movement here with 540 on your Herald of Orange Lights and 515 on Avas. Looks like they've probably been here for a minute, but people are just starting to buy the structure decks, especially the cheaper ones. I think I got mine at like $13.80, and keep in mind I bought this like weeks ago before I started Market Watches. Otherwise, once again, I would have held off on buying those. But speaking of which, if you guys want to get the 300 subscriber giveaway, we first have to hit 300 subscribers. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and stay tuned for that actual giveaway announcement. Once we hit 300 is when I'll give the announcement. But anyways, as you can see, most of this deck here is actually not worth a lot of money. Like pennies at most, and I am on high to low right now just for the filter, and you can see that there's not really much to be had here. It's pretty much all currently between Ava and that Herald of the Orange Light, but people are still paying money for this. If we go look at the 13 listings left of this structure deck, you do have several here that have multiple copies that are definitely wanting to sell these pretty hard. This guy, I don't know what he's doing, $12 and $9.99 shipping. I understand the shipping, but for only 2 decks, when you have that rating and that amount of sales, good luck, brother. Good luck. But yeah, since I've bought these, they've already gone up to $17, like, on average. And then there's even some that are trying to push that 19, 20, and then even the 24 down here. If we go onto the second page, they start climbing up. You're at the 25, and then even hit the $40 mark. It's just insane. I'm going to hold on to mine for a while, see what happens here. But you're probably in your last window or two to be able to catch some of these at fairly cheap prices before they skyrocket and do some crazy stuff. Like I said, I've got like a box of 8 sitting, like a full display of 8 sitting behind me, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, so that was really all I want to talk about here, because obviously, once again, the singles are nothing too crazy to bark at, except for the Herald of Orange Light and the Ava, which, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these are really going to go up any further. They are kind of going down on listings a little bit, but they're staying pretty steady about selling at this about $5.50 to $6 mark. If we go on here, it does kind of go up like a little bit by pennies, but it doesn't really go up substantially enough to be like really worth going in on. Cause yeah, you stagnate at like the $7-8 mark for a little bit after that first couple of pages. So nothing really insane there. And then if we go look at the Ava, it's probably going to be about the same story, to be honest. Even though it does have less listings, only 9 less, so it's not like insane. But yeah, I mean, if you look here once again, pretty stagnant around that $5.50 to $6 mark. It kind of doesn't really do much for a little while. So I mean, pick up your copies if you want to play them, but don't expect them to like go up for a resale anytime soon. Alright, next up here is Rank Up Magic Variance Force. I barely caught this morning. Let me actually refresh this just to make sure that we're still on the same page here. I don't know what happened to this card. Honestly, I hadn't really kept up with it much before, but yeah, there's only 2 pages left here. You have a total of 14 listings all day and only 4 first editions, which 3 of them are right here. I guess you have like at least 5, but yeah, so you're looking $20 on a lightly played first ed here, and then 1 copy of the Near Mint first ed at $31, and then you're up to $75. I don't think it's going to sell at the $75, but with how few quantities there is always a chance. Let's see if we can find that other first ed here. It's a damaged first ed for $278. Just don't even bother. These Unlimiteds not really doing much of anything. They're pretty much all staying below $10. With the exception of this one Near Mint up here. But this is like your last chance. If you want this card, if you want this Ultimate Rare, you have literally 2 copies left on market here that are at least somewhat reasonable. 1 lightly played and 1 Near Mint. And like, well, I guess 2 lightly played. So 3 copies in total. So you can pick up a playset with only 1 of them being Near Mint. But if you're looking to flip it, I mean, like, you can maybe even like just offer like the lightly playeds for like an extra $10-15. And then do like an extra 20 on your Near Mints. But I don't think you're going to sell at $75. Maybe if all of these copies get bought out and that's like the only thing left, people might go for it. But I don't know. That's just something to keep in mind here, that Variance Force Ultimate Rare is almost completely bought out of first editions. Nobody really cares about the Unlimited. So next up here is Stellar Knight and Stellar Diamond. There is a very specific reason that I'm talking about this, and that is actually because I have him at the end here. But because Stellar Knight Delteros is going up right now, which I'll go over here in a minute. Stellar Knight and Stellar Diamond is actually an interesting card. Basically, what I was thinking is this could be, if Stellar Knights ever actually get some good support, which they very well could, and people are obviously hoping that it does, considering they're buying out Delteros and other related cards. Stellar Diamond could potentially be among those, and actually you're already kind of seeing it here. Like if we go back to page 1, I'm just going to turn on the first edition filter just to kind of help out here, because there is only 19 of those in total for listings. So you got a couple of kind of motivated sellers down here at like the $38 to $40 mark on Near Mints, and then you're hitting 45s on all of your lightly played, so that's already a good sign that this card's going to go up. And then you're going down here to Near Mints, lowest are like $49, and then if we go to the next page, there's only a few there are several copies here at $49, and then you like just quickly move up to 100. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy that we were just looking at with the Variance Force, if I'm not mistaken. No, never mind. It must have been a different card, but yeah, no, this card is not long of this world either. It's gonna go up here pretty soon too. It looks like. I could very well be wrong. Let's look at the sales here just so we kind of have an idea. So you've been seeing lightly played first eds. They got bought out at $20. Somebody just came through and cleaned them off. Near Mints were selling at 30s. And so you can already tell that like this card has gone up. People have been wanting to buy this out. Actually, no. It's been like over a month since people have really gone for this card. So maybe they're just waiting and they're speculating on this card to go up. Given those prices, though, I can't say I would necessarily justify any of these. If you're really like speculating on it and you really feel like Stellar Knight might have some hype to it or might actually do something in the future, you could pick up a couple of these copies for like the long game. Just a little something for you to look at. I was more so just curious than anything to see how this is doing. But back to the Delteros. Now, this one was actually, this Ghostware specifically was brought up to my attention thanks to Team Sakurasu. If you're watching, buddy, thank you so much. I did manage to pick up a couple of copies of this like a month ago, or however long ago it was. It was definitely before I started doing this, but I want to say I got mine at like $40, and it's already heading up to like $50, $60 on near mints. And there's only a few copies of those at the first edition before you're shooting up to lightly playeds being at $70, near mints being the 74, and up to $90. And yes, I do have a copy listed on here. I think at 99 on light play. Yeah, and then 120 because I just list it as like a temporary price, then I wait to see where like the market actually settles to adjust then. But I mean, if somebody happens to buy these at this price, I'm not going to be mad about it. So, yeah, probably about one of your last chances to be able to get on this one if you want to try it. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, heavier hitting, like I said, you got a few near mint copies down here at $58, and then you're pretty quickly going to be heading up to about 100. So. I do also want to take a look at the Ultimate Rare version of this, because that was something that actually he did not talk about. Team Sakurasi did not talk about. Why? I'm surprised it's not showing up here. Let me look it up here. Stellar Knight, Delteros, Ultimate Rare. There we go. So this was something, I bought a couple of copies of this at the same time I got the Ghostware, because I looked at it, and I'm like, well, if the Ghostware is going to go up, I feel like there's some people that don't really like the Ghostware foiling, because for some people it's just really hard to see, or they just don't like the look of it in general. So some people might tend more towards the Ultimate Rare, and currently it's cheaper by a good margin to the Ghostware. And actually there's more first edition listings than there are unlimited. So let's look at the first eds here. $31 for first eds. I want to say I got mine at like $25. So, I mean, see it only up to like 31, 33. It's not too bad. It's slowly creeping up. But you do see it starting to actually creep up, and it does eventually get to $50. So, once again, I mean, you can make a little bit of money on this if you pick them up at 30s, and then you sell them and get at 50s. Of course, you will have to be paying the TCG player fees and tracking fees, so you'll be losing a few bucks there. But if you guys want, you could always go for the lightly played first eds for just these 22. There is still one motivated seller here for $25 with 2 copies. So actually, for just under $50, you can get 2 copies of these, and then be able to basically double your money after a while. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Actually, there are a couple of near mint first eds here, about 24, 25 still. So you still got a few copies to go before you really see this one go up. But I think the Ultimate Rare, while not as powerful as the Ghost Rare, can still do something. It can still make some extra cash if that's what you're looking for. So next up here, something I didn't think about last week, or actually no, this was because we just had the PPG over the weekend, and we did see an actual Mech Knight deck in the top 16, so I just kind of want to take a peek at this. Mech Knights come and go like every format. They just bounce in and out all the time. You do actually see Gear Shoes up a few dollars, surprisingly. Last time I checked these, I want to say it was like the $32, $34. You are starting to see these slowly creep up, and a few more listings coming off the market, so that's actually not too bad. Although, I gotta say, I think this is probably, like, the cheapest that I've seen Mech Knights in quite some time. Granted, I haven't been back into the game for too long. Like, the end of 2019 is when I came back. But since I've returned, this is probably, like, the cheapest I've seen some of your more expensive stuff. Purples only being $8 to $7 on secret rares, and then your blue skies being less than $3 in the market. Actually, that might be like some damaged copies, but there are very high quantities of this deck, and it's actually becoming more and more budget by the day. I'm honestly considering picking up the deck because I've always wanted to play it. I've always thought it looked like a lot of fun, and I'm just really curious. Avermaxes, always a lot of fun. Dark Neostorm copies at like $9 up here with the market price of $11.50. Yeah, I guess that $9, that's for a 0 sale right there. Oh, wow, brand new store. But, yeah, like $12, $13 for this. I was mostly just curious to look at Mech Knight stuff because I really think that Mech Knights are interesting, and they can surprise a lot of people when they just kind of randomly appear in the meta without, like, any heads up or warning or anything. They're just like, alright, we're here now. Oh, wow, Purple's actually kind of steadily sitting at that $7 mark. That's not too bad at all. I gotta say, I'm actually kind of impressed by that. You know, you do get up to like $7.50 here a little bit, but that's not terrible. Okay, that's the 2018 Megatins version, but alright, that was just kind of a curiosity of mine. I just kind of wanted to take a peek at that really quick, and I thought that'd be cool to show you guys as well, in case you weren't aware of the PPG stats and Mech Knight actually having a place there. So next up is Orchest. I didn't really talk about this as much when we went over the ban list stuff and when I went over the scrap package. I kind of went over a couple of things. I do remember, like, opening this page anyhow and, like, looking at it, but I wanted to take a little bit more of a deep dive into it because Honestly, Engage coming off the list, or at least coming to 1 on the list, was a bit ridiculous. Because out of the 4 decks, like the big decks of the Eternal format, which is your toss decks, Thunder Dragon, Orchest, Sky Striker, and Salamangreat, Orchest Hard Porter is like the most inhibiting of all the power cards of those decks, because this one actually locks you into something. Now, I guess you could argue that Mirage Stalio is that card, given the fact that it locks you into only using fire monsters' effects for the rest of the turn. But Hard Porter specifically locks you into only special summoning dark monsters. Now, let me double check to make sure I'm not, like, totally wrong on that Salamangreat thing. I feel like I had that right, but I very well could be wrong. Let me find it here. Yeah, so Mirage Stalio, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn except fire monsters, which is fair. But in Salamangreat, that's really not all that restricting. I mean, there's a few Cybers cards that, of course, that does kind of hurt with. Like, you at that turn, obviously, you can't use your access code talker because he's not a fire monster. But at the same time, most of the times, I'm pretty sure you're going to be using Mirage Stalio when you're going first. If you're looking to OTK and, like, break your opponent's board, then you're not really going to be going that route as much. Whereas with Hard Porter, this specifically locks you into only being able to special summon dark monsters. At least with Salamangreat, you can still bring out other types of monsters from the extra deck, or from wherever. You can still summon other types of monsters and use them. But with Hard Porter, it actually locks you. And also, this is a main deck card, not an extra deck card, so it's less consistent to be able to get into, because your biggest ways of getting into it are going to be something like a Foolish Burial, or a Gearsu, or a Scrap Recycler, all of which are very easy to Ash and to be able to stop, or even just DD Crow the Hard Porter once it hits the graveyard. You know, if there's not a Babylon field, you can't respond to that as a quick effect, so you're just going to be losing it anyways. And I mean, of course, you could recycle it because it's Orchest, and Orchest does Orchest things. But honestly, out of all those decks, I feel like Orchest was the least toxic and, like, the least just degenerate, because all it did was just resource loop, and it did it very well. Orchest is very good at managing resources and being able to keep the game flowing, but it was never by any means, like, at least in my eyes, obviously, you know, back in that actual format, it was different, but right now, that level of Orchest with just Hard Porter at 1 would not be overwhelming in the slightest. So, to see that he didn't come off the list and instead we got Engage, which can be used twice in one turn and is searchable and is recurrable every turn, I think is a little bit ridiculous, given that this just does not produce nearly as much advantage. Of course, Colossus is always going to stay on the list. He's going to be there for a long time. So, I don't know. I really feel like this should have come off, but there's always a chance next list, or, you know, a little bit further down the road, this could always come off and come to 1. So I have a few copies sitting here. Once again, this is purely up to speculation here, and you do actually see some people kind of going into it, because I think I got mine at 3s, and you have 1 copy left at $3.47 with 99-cent shipping with low ratings, or low sales anyways, that quickly goes up to $5. Like, this is already a $5 card for the OTS 11 super rare. So yeah, no, I think this is absolutely incredible. I'm surprised it's already gone up. I really didn't think it would. Maybe this is still, like, it's waiting to calm down from the ban list speculation and all that. Who knows? But you have several pages here that kind of go for 5 and up. So if you missed your chance on this, you kind of missed your chance on it. But let's just check out the other versions here, because you might still be able to get the rare here as kind of a penny stonk. Very sorry about that. My cat was just being hyper in the other room here. So we'll go ahead and move on from all that. Ogdec, actually the deck that people were really expecting to go well with Orchest, and that I'm pretty sure kind of got Galatea Ultimate Rares up to, like, that big hype price point, actually dying. They're coming down very quickly. Correct, Collector's Rares still kind of doing their thing, but they are down in market price on all 3 of these copies. Not so much the Iran, because I don't think people were, like, too stoked about that, but even on the Ogdoadic Overlord here, you're down like $18 on market price with 44 listings. That's pretty impressive. Just the normal ultra rare copy, you have 146 listings here at $7, as low as $7 at a $9 market price. This is just crazy compared to what it was on release. Of course, there's not as much hype behind this deck anymore. It's still very cool to see, though. I thought Ogdoadic was a very fun deck, very interesting forms of mechanics, and just an interesting way to play the game. So, I mean, This deck will probably continue to get a little bit cheaper over time, unless for some reason something happens and this deck just becomes like super relevant to the game. Time will tell on this one. I don't really know which way to go with it. You know, you guys speculate where you want to. If you want to pick up the deck, just have fun with it. I think it's pretty cheap right now and definitely worth trying out. If this is what you're looking at, obviously do your online testing first before going in on something like this. But I think it could be interesting, especially considering that like your big boys here, you really only need one of all three of these, from what I understand, just to have the names in the deck. Except for the Ogdec Overlord, this one's actually a good card. But yeah, I mean, overall, actually, it looks like a pretty fun deck. So if you guys want to pick up your cards for this, this is probably a good time for that, to be honest. So next up here, I wanted to take a look at Ghosts from the Past to see how prices were settling here. You're seeing Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos going way down from market price, down to the $255 mark. Just absolutely insane, though. Like, the value from this set is, it's beyond ridiculous. And there's a good reason the MSRP jumped up. People are obviously expecting a lot more than this, but yeah, you're seeing quite a few people here trying to sell below the $300 mark, and then some people that want to be over the $300 mark still. Will it end up getting here? Oh, wow, buddy, I'm so sorry. Will it end up coming to this point? Like, maybe. We're still dealing with the original Secret Rare being over $100, so, like, that's ridiculous. Given that we didn't get just, like, a normal printing of this card in the set to give us, like, an actual reprint. They just gave us an even higher rarity, so that was kind of a bummer. Dark Magician Ghostware, I've seen this steadily going down over time. I do have a copy listed up here as lightly played. When I first received it, I thought it was near mint, but then I saw like some factory errors on it, and I was like, well, okay. It's nothing like too bad, but it's just enough to make it a lightly played version. But you're looking, there's several mod and heavy plays, probably all just because of factory errors, which is very sad. There was so many factory errors with this card, and it really just tanked the value of it so much. Yeah, you can see here I'm at $790. I'm not really expecting to sell anytime soon, but once again, it's just a placeholder price for now, pretty much. So Dark Magicians, let me look at near mints, just because I am purely curious. Lowest here, you have an 820 seller, very motivated to get this off the market, and then you still have people over $1,200 with this card that really want to make that bank off of it. Yeah, this card is just terminal. It's insane. And this guy here trying to sell it for $4,200. Bro, unless you have it graded, it's not going to sell for that. And what are you doing leaving this card outside of a sleeve, my man? Come on. What? You don't just leave a card like this out. It's not, no, it's not smart. Very nice pictures, though. It does look very nice. I mean, I can understand why you'd want to list it at $4,200, but just get it graded, man. Get it graded and then list it. Like, dang, bro. Anyways, that's kind of my gripe with Ghosts from the Past here. Nothing too crazy there. Otherwise, all the other cards, like the normal cards in the set that held value for a little while, like your Evenly Match, your Remus, they're all just going down in price. They're not doing anything impressive. So I also wanted to take a look at Blazing Vortex because I was curious. Obviously, you got the Starlights up here. Pot of Prosperity, 420. Nice. Well, 420, 42, which I'm guessing if they could have, they would have had that 0 there, which would have been funny. But yeah, this card is still just sitting about that $400 to $500 mark. Not really any signs of it going up anytime soon. I do love this card, though. I do really enjoy Pot of Prosperity. I'm upset that I can't really play it in Prank Kids just because it conflicts with too many things. But overall, not too bad. Miradoras still at 153. I talked about those last week. Pot of Prosperities, they were actually hitting 110 for a minute. And now it looks like you're getting, you got one seller here with 2 sales at $95. It's $100. Yeah, this card went up a few bucks. It was chilling at kind of like that $90, $95 mark for like a while. And now it's actually started moving up. More people are starting to play it. I think we're starting to get more in-person stuff, like more locals. So people are more willing to actually buy the cardboard, which is very good to see. Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, I've heard some speculation this is starting to see a little bit more play in the format, especially with Adagnisters being around. It is just very effective, being able to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters as like kind of a free extra deck kaiju, while just basically making a Link 4 of your own and sucking up one of their monsters as well. And then as soon as it hits the field, you get a Dark Ruler no more. This one can be responded to, unfortunately, but it's from the extra deck, and it's a 3K beat stick, so it's workable. It's definitely workable. And then, of course, it is... Oh, so this Link Summoned card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target it. So if they have, like, a non-targeting negate effect, or even, like, if they can't Dragoon this card. They can't just non-targeting destroy this card with Dragoon. Which is always funny. I love being able to just do that. And then, of course, you get that free Graveyard Summon Negate effect as just kind of like the bonus stamp on the end of this card. It really is like Konami just kind of threw 3 cards together on this one. They pull the Triple Tactics Talent on an extra deck monster, and it's very interesting. But it's also very interesting to see this card only sitting at a $23, $24 price mark for the longest time. I remember when the set first came out, people were trying to sell at 30s, and it kept going down. It just kept going down and down in price. You're not seeing a lot of verified sellers here try to sell it right now. But yeah, there's a lot of people selling at $24, $25, not really expecting this to go anywhere. I don't know. I'd be in it for the long haul because, once again, this is a card that's not going to have a reprint until sometime next year. At least most likely, that would be Konami's move. But it's a very good card, very, like, unrecognized, I think. Very, I don't know, just kind of passed by. People just tend to look over this card, and it's always very interesting to see. So, there were my couple of things that I wanted to peek at for Blazing Vortex. I don't think there was really all that much else going on. Of course, the booster box is still sitting at like $68-ish, somewhere in there. Overall, this set really not doing a whole lot. It's still kind of relying on that Pot of Prosperity stonk, so that's kind of where we're looking at here. Although kit super rares, they did go down. I remember them being a few bucks, actually, which was very impressive, so... Next up here is Unchained. I actually was just talking to Patrick at Fusion YGO about this last night. I was actually with him, and I think it was Lucas. We were doing a podcast episode together, which I don't think is out yet, so I won't spoil anything for you guys. But we were talking about Unchained for quite a bit, and how it is a really powerful budget deck. And it's one of those that also does tend to get very overlooked, because people, I just don't think they recognize it as a threat. But when you have a deck that gains advantage off of its own things being destroyed, I think you have something with a lot of potential, especially in like the kind of game that we're in, where we're just trying to blow up entire boards. It's like, okay, you try to blow up what I've got right now, I'm just going to come out with a lot more, or I'm going to be able to retaliate. And obviously, it's got one of the best Link 4s in the game. Like, well, I guess I shouldn't say like one of the best, but one of the more commonly used Link 4s. But just look at how cheap this deck is. For an original secret rare printing out of Chaos Impact, your Unchained Soul of Rage, which is like one of your most important Link monsters, is only $5. This is like the most expensive the deck gets, unless you want to go for the Starlight Rare or Ruha, which you don't at all need, because that would be the only Starlight Rare in the deck, and it would just look really weird. But literally all these cards will just gain you advantage over time. And this deck actually just has a lot of potential to do a lot of crazy things, and people just aren't noticing it. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, guys. If you're looking for a budget deck, you could probably build this, maybe not necessarily under 50, but definitely under like 75 or 100 as a very solid deck if you wanted to. Like, this deck is just a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of just messing with your opponent and playing a lot of stupid stuff. I know my buddy from the deck plays this a lot, and just watching him blow up his own board repeatedly is the most funny thing ever, because he always just gets stuff back for it. So it's always fun to watch. So there's that. And now for the title of today's video, How the Mighty Have Fallen. Rocket, Dragon Link, or just Dragon Link in general, got destroyed on this ban list. Like, it almost got a Pendulum-style hit. Don't get me wrong, the deck is still playable, but it's only like Rogue or maybe Tier 2 now at best, giving you only have one Striker Dragon and no LP. And you can definitely see that showing in these prices here. There's over 100 listings on both versions of Striker Dragon. That's insane. I want to say I remember pulling a Striker Dragon out of the box of Chaos Impact I did, at the time it was like $14. And now you're looking at $3.60 on those, and then $2 on your Prismatic Secret Rares. As with the market price of $3.50. Those low-as listings are never very accurate. But I just think it's hilarious. And of course, LP as well, just absolutely demolished on the market. Like, over 100 listings of both of these, and they're less than $1. This is honestly just hilarious. I know they were never like too much money, but well, after the 2020 reprint anyways, but I don't know. I absolutely love this. I think it's hilarious. And I was thinking sad that a lot of people forget about Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. I think this deck, or this card, is probably what's going to keep a lot of Dragon Links still in some kind of viability to some degree. Because the power of this card is insane. You get to excavate the top 5 cards of your deck to be able to dig for a light or dark monster, which you could use to get into a Chaos package. You can throw in things like Chaos Valkyria. Obviously, you've got the Chaos Baby Dragons. You can go for a Levianeer. There's so many targets with this card. You can even go for Chaos... oh my god, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but we'll figure it out later. But yeah, I mean, this card is still only at $30. I really feel like people underestimated this card out of Rise of the Duelist, given that like Rocket Dragon Link was still pretty much almost at full power, and people just didn't see this card as necessary for the deck because it was just another extender that they didn't really need. Well, guess what? Now Rocket needs it, and you're still only at like $30 to $35 on a Rise of the Duelist Secret Rare First Edition. Like, I'm kind of surprised this didn't shoot up after that ban list, to be honest, for all those Rocket players that still wanted to play the deck. I don't know. I just know that this is an insane card, and a lot of people playing Dragon Link should definitely have already considered it, but I highly doubt they have, because I feel like if Dragon Link's going to survive, it's either going to have to go back to like kind of the older Rocket style of deck, or it might have to evolve into some kind of like Chaos Dragon Link deck, which I think could be definitely playable, especially now that you're not having to worry about the guard dragons locking you into dragon monsters while they're on the field. So it could just be more potential to branch off into new things. Speaking of, I want to take a look at Chaos Space really quick. The Collector's Rares actually looks like it's been going up in price, so the market price of $72. If we look here, oh, I guess that's for Unlimiteds. But we got lightly played first edition selling at 130, 170 on the near mint copies. I can't really say if this is going up or not. Let me put on that first edition stamp here. So, I mean, we definitely see the lightly playeds going up by like $20. Near mints are kind of sitting around that $160, $170 for the original collector's rares, but you do see it not too many listings, and then it's not going to sell at $400. I like this card. I can't justify it enough to go for the collector's rare, not the first edition anyways. And not even really the unlimited, because if you're going to go in for a card like this, you want the first edition stamp if you plan to sell it later. It just got so much more collector value and so much more resale value. Like, I don't know. It's interesting, to say the least. I was just kind of curious about it. Let's go back and look at the normal Chaos Space. Looks like these have actually gone up. I think last time, or like when I sold my copies, it was like at $4. You're seeing near mint first editions up to $9 right now. Like, I think people are starting to play this card more. And once again, let's slap on that first edition here. So first edition, yeah, you're at like $7, $8 right now at the lowest for at least a page here. And then you're starting to go up to $9, and even, let's see, does it go any higher? Does it go any more terminal? It gets closer to 10. So, I mean, this card is very slowly moving up. About $1 a page is what it looks like. So, kind of interesting to see that nonetheless. And while we're here, I kind of want to look at some of the other Chaos cards. No, I wanted to look at Toon cards. Never mind. So I just typed in Toon. Of course, that's going to come up with all the Toon Chaos stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys how insane some of this Toon stuff is. I don't know, for some reason people just really love their tunes. I get it's nostalgic, and there's new support for it all the time, and people are saying, oh, it's going to be relevant someday. Good luck if that's what your dream is. I hope you get there. Oh, I didn't mean to click near mine. I meant to do first edition. There we go. Let's just see how terminal these is. Yeah, your Toon Blackluster Soldier Collector's Rares. Almost $400 if you want one of these boys. And then it's $500. Yikes! How terminal does this go? How people think it's gonna hit $1,000? Okay, that's a PSA 9. I suppose I can't be like too mad at that. That actually is not a bad grade. Although this doesn't. I don't know. Is this their card? Okay. Either way, it's interesting. Wow. Actually, I was not expecting Toon Blackluster Soldier to be that bad for whatever reason. Ouch. My wallet is screaming just looking at that. If you want unlimited edition boxes, they're still $145, but your first eds are $319. So good luck on those. Just normal tuned Blackluster soldiers. I saw this a little bit ago. Oh, Chaos Creator. That was the name I was trying to remember. Okay. Collector's rares on this, actually. Oh, that's right, because that's going to be unlimited. Never mind. But I suppose Toon Kingdom multiple rares, because this is like the most important card for the Toon deck as far as I'm aware. Especially because it's very helpful for the strategy here. Let's go ahead and look at near mint copies, even though that is the majority. You're seeing these at $58 to $60. Do they start to move at all? 65, 70 for your ultimate rares out of OTS 13. Oh, 14. Okay. Up to $70. I mean, there is very slow movement on these. People can definitely speculate that this will go up in price, but I'm honestly not too sure at this point. It's kind of been stagnating around the $60 for a while. Maybe if like something else Toon related comes out that kind of gets that hype going again, but I'm not 100% sure. So, last thing I wanted to talk about today was the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend Ghostware, and this is because I've seen several buyouts on different Ghostwares, especially like Signer Dragons or anything related to Signer Dragons. And this one actually kind of caught my eye because I looked at this. Let's hit that first edition really quick here. So, oh, did this already change since I looked at it? Because I remembered seeing a copy that was like $80. Either way, this card is about to go nuts because you have, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of near mint first editions here that are 120 or less, excluding this lightly played up here, of course. Before it just goes to $250. Like it's literally just $130 difference. People have just said, you know what, this card's gonna be expensive. So if you want this Ghost Rare, you can wait for cards to get relisted and more to come up on the market, or you can just suck it up. Oh, I guess this is an Italian, so you really only have 3 copies here of near mint first eds before you're at that $250 mark. So if you guys want to bite the bullet and spend that $120 to maybe make some profit, once again, though, I can't see this as one of those cards that's necessarily going to sell at $250. Sure, it's a fairly decent card. It's related to one of the signers from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Can it sell? Maybe. If we look at these here, maybe. Oh, no, that near mint. Maybe I was wrong when I was looking at it earlier. Oh, no, near mint first said there's an 85 here. Oh, that was at the beginning of the month. I don't know what I saw then, but yeah, you're even seeing people buy this. They're willingly buying this at $120. So somebody's expecting this to definitely go up. So if you guys want a chance at this, you got 3 of them left before it's just all gone. So good luck to you guys. If you want this, go for it. Make some money. If you want to try to, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. By no means can I actually guarantee any money out of this. This is all pure speculation, what I think could happen. But it's definitely very interesting to take a look at. So guys, let me know what you thought of today's Market Watch. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys did enjoy the content, as well as checking out all the stuff down in that description below, including my TCG player link if you guys need specific singles. I'm about to have a whole bunch of cards listed up on the market. I got a whole bulk box of cards sorted that I just now need to get listed on my shop. So if you guys are looking for singles, don't forget to go down there and take a look. I will catch you guys all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to have fun and make your move. Peace out.
I'm a love giver.